Hey guys, how's it going? I've had a few questions about my double hoop houses, so give me a second. Let me tear this one down beside it so that I can build it back and show you how it works. Alright, here we go. So I got both layers of the plastic off. You know, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do like a full build. I can kind of walk you through this. I mean, this is a 4x8 bed, so this is pretty simple. Two 8-foot 2x4s, or three rather. One cut in half to 4 feet. And then these will be just slightly less, about 7 inches less than 8 feet. And away you go, just make your little box. I used 1/2 inch PVC, and then these are the end caps, which I've screwed into the frame. So obviously the first layer of plastic goes over here. I'll take some basic measurements here of like what the interior diameter is and the exterior diameter. You know, if you're interested, if you want to copy this, I mean, just by the looks of things, I mean, it seems to have worked okay. This is, what am I going on, year 3 with these? What else can I tell you about it? Just use some T-pieces for the purlins. I mean, you could obviously attach them a little better than I did, but, you know, at the end of the day, they do just fine. I mean, if I wasn't quite so lazy in the winter and I came out and actually brushed the snow off, I don't think they'd be even bowed at all. But I do recommend, obviously, on an 8-foot bed, the third purlin. You might even want to go with 2 if you're in a really wet snow area, because you don't need a lot of snow when it's wet snow. I know this bed is a 6x4, and it did need another one in there. I have to come out because this is just pooled with snow. Now, granted, didn't go down, and I don't think it's going to crash. So I'll get around to that the next time I get around to something. So anyway, I'll slide this over and I'll show you how this works. I mean, you're essentially just going to put your poly over the one layer. This is basically what you're going to do every fall, right? Because I mean, in the spring you're going to take these off because they get too darn hot in there. So I'll just show you how to put this on. I use some basic wood lathing for in between to hold the first layer down, and then the second layer gets held on like this. So I'll take a couple of pictures here as I go, and if you have any questions, obviously slap them in the comment box. But like I say, I did have some questions on this. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It basically acts like a thermos. I mean, if I'm telling you something you don't know, wow. But you know, this layer of air in between here, it really helps insulate this. And one thing that I found is single layer hoop houses at night don't retain any heat. Like, it might be a degree or 2 warmer in there, maybe. So this will actually help retain the heat that's kept in the soil. And it certainly keeps, you know, the heavy snows and the hard frosts off. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, these are a few things that I'm going to transplant up front yet. A couple of kales, a few lettuces, some spinach. Definitely want to harvest this and get drying some out for tea. That's some lemon balm. I already dried a ton of, not a ton, but a ton of time. Bit of time. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up, most of this bed's probably going to be empty. Yeah, whatever. Sadly enough, I mean, the front gets more sun. So, I mean, whatever I can't fit up front, we'll go in here. Give me a second, and I'll slap on some plastic, and we'll show you how this works. Alright, first layer's on. We're just going to repeat the same, and obviously instead of, well, maybe not obviously, instead of putting the lathing on there, we're going to put it on the front of the 2x4 frame. So, give me a second. Okay, here we go, got her done. The front piece, I just ripped those out of some spare 2x4s. Just another couple of spare pieces, and then on the back, recycled, borrowed, dollar store hinges. Like, I mean, you're not really looking for anything, unbelievably crazy. These put up with 100-kilometer-an-hour winds and minus 40 and I don't know, a decent snow load. So, I mean, if these will work for me, I'm next to positive they'll work for you. Now, with the way that last piece of strapping goes on the back, okay, it's going to push this whole frame forward. So the nice thing is, you don't even really need a handle. You got somewhere that you can lift up real easy. Now, if you are going to build one of these, I would like you to be aware. They heat up extremely quickly. I'm positive I had it in a vid in the spring. I came outside and it was a couple of degrees outside, like just above freezing, and it was over 20 in the double layered hoop house. So, and another thing, William Coleman and I were talking. I like to drop names because, I'm a big deal that way. Anyway, William and I were talking about it, and I completely agree with his philosophy that crops will cease to exist in a hoop house like this, and the main reason is not going to be because of the cold. It's going to be because they're too dry, and this gets extremely warm. I don't know if you can see, I've been transplanting, I've been yanking plants out of here, but that's dry. And I've been watering this every other day. So, just a little tip, if you're going to build one of these, make sure you keep on top of it. I vent it. What do I got? I was just kneeling on it. Where did it go? Just a little piece of wood. I can't believe that I used Baltic birch for that. Oh well. But yeah, just put it in like that. You can put it in like that on colder days, right? I mean, the bottom line is there's not very many days that this isn't going to need to have a little bit of ventilation. It's just going to get too warm when the sun's out. So, this entire design I based around a gentleman by the name of Patrick Dolan, 1 Yard Revolution. If you haven't seen him, then you don't really watch gardening videos. But if you would like a detailed sort of breakdown of how he does it, I'll slap his video up. He's been a season extending inspiration to me for sure. So, but there you go. I had a few people ask me how I do this, and that is how I did it. So, have a great one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.